What is going on, ladies and genitals? YOTESLAYA here, bringing you my Black Ops 2 Transit Easter egg tutorial. This is going to be for the Maxis side Easter egg. If you're not familiar, there are two Easter eggs within Transit. There's a Maxis side and a Richtofen side. I will be showing you that Richtofen side at a later date, but now we're going to focus on the Maxis. Now, if you're not familiar with my tutorials, I like to slow things down and explain things in a lot of detail, and do like an Easter egg for dummies. I've watched a lot of tutorials for Easter eggs out there and got lost quite quickly. So with me, I like to slow things down and show you a little more detail than some of the other tutorials. This is not the first video on YouTube of this. I'm not claiming to be the first. I'm simply trying to help my subscribers at doing this Easter egg. And I hope you appreciate the time that was put into this, because this Easter egg kinda sucks, huge winner. But right now at the bottom of the screen, you can see that it says spawn/bus depot. At all points in this video, you will see where I'm located within the map by that little line at the bottom of your screen. Right now it says bus depot. We've got the diner, which is the first stop. The second stop is the farm. The third stop is the power station, and fourth stop is the town. So you will know where I'm located within the map at all times by the bottom of the screen. The only time you will not know where I'm at is when I'm in the cornfield by the obelisk, aka pylon, and I'll explain what that is here in just a little bit. But to start this Easter egg out, you can see there I just went and picked up the turbine, and I'm using it to open the door. There are three parts to this turbine located within that first room, the spawn. My teammates actually put that together. Before you leave and exit this, make sure all four players have a turbine. All four players are going to need a turbine for these Easter eggs. If you do happen to die, you can always go back to the spawn and pick up a turbine. Therefore, you know, you will always be able to do the Easter egg. So once you get it settled and everybody has a turbine, jump on the bus, and we're going to be wanting to head to the first stop, aka the diner. Now right here, I'm going to show you guys about the Galva Knuckles. This is not a required step to doing this Easter egg. This is just going to make things 100 times easier, okay? If you're not familiar with the denizens in the fog, it usually takes 5 melees to get them off. With the Galva Knuckles, it's only going to take 2. So therefore, if you have to migrate to the fog, it'll make things 100 times easier. Now right here, I used the turbine to open up the door to the shed, and you can see I just picked up that part. If you're not familiar with what that part is, it's to the little crawl space door up into the top of the diner to get to the Galva Knuckles. If you do not know how to get to the Galva Knuckles, I'll kind of show you here. But if you would like a full tutorial, I can do that as well. There are a few different places that part can be, by the way. It will not always be in that shed. But since you're here at this first stop, you might as well hit this box as well. You don't want to get too far into this Easter egg and not have good guns. I definitely say focus on your guns early on, and get you some good guns. Therefore, you're not going to die. With this Maxis Easter egg, you could not have any perks. So you've got to do all this without Jug. So you might as well get a good gun early on. Now with that part, you want to head into the diner over here by this window. And you can see I look up at the crawl space door, whatever you want to call that. And I just simply hold X and it inserts that part there. Now right here, we are skipping ahead to the town. If you're unfamiliar with Transit, you can see my buddy there has the Galva Knuckles already. He will need to have the Galva Knuckles already, and he's just knifing those keys, and he's giving us money, okay? If you're unfamiliar with that, within Transit mode, you can go into a solo game, rack up a lot of points, and then come to this bank vault and deposit your money. It carries over from game to game, and it allows you to do what he's doing now and sharing his points with us, or you could pick them up yourself. He simply gave us enough money to where we could all purchase the Galva Knuckles now. It's always earlier to do these Easter eggs early on. So we wanted to do this as soon as possible, and he basically bought the Galva Knuckles for us, so thank you, man. And that's a pretty good tip for you guys. If you want to save up money in solo, or have your buddies do that in solo, it'll allow you to get good weapons early on. It'll allow you to get the Galva Knuckles perks, whatever it may be. If you're doing Richtofen side, like I said, with Maxis, you cannot have perks and stuff like that. But once you get the Galva Knuckles, that is what I suggest doing first, getting those Galva Knuckles before we start doing the Easter egg. This is going to be the first official step of the Easter egg. You want to head to the third stop that is on the bus, which is called the power plant. And you're going to be wanting to turn on the power. If you're unfamiliar, you do have to find 3 parts within this power station to, you know, go to the workbench and actually manufacture, I guess is what you want to say, the power switch itself. There's the panel, which you just seen me get there. There's a zombie hand and also the lever. They will always be located within this power station, so you won't have to look too hard. Here in a minute, you'll see that I kind of didn't know where the lever was. This is actually only my first couple times doing this. These are some subscribers in this game that were helping me do this Easter egg, guys. Thank you for helping me. But yeah, the parts will always be located within this power station. You know, so just keep looking around. If you have to, keep looking down, and eventually you'll see the hold X to pick up part thingy, and you'll be good. This is where we're going to be introduced to the Avogadro zombie. This is the key to the Maxis Easter egg. We're actually going to have to kill him a little bit later on as well. So he's pretty much the whole key to this thing, and he's a pretty beastly Easter egg. If you've not seen the Avogadro zombie, it's kind of like George Romero. He's got that shock element to him. He's not as annoying as George Romero. Like if you piss him off, he doesn't chase you, but he's a pretty badass zombie. You can see that I turn on the power, all the electricity starts going towards this middle thing, and the Avogadro is rising up through the middle thing, and he looks pretty freaking badass right there. That's probably one of the coolest things ever in Treyarch Nazi Zombies. But there he is there. You can see his head. He's just like a white electrified zombie and stuff like that. And he will appear after you turn on the power. Now, after you turn on the power and the Avogadro appears, you will hear a line, what you're about to hear now, and this means that you've got the Easter egg on the right step. So check out, this is what you'll hear.
But now, you must turn off the power. An active power grid will disrupt all communications between us and make it impossible to accomplish the mission I have for you.
I was a 6-time knife fight champ. I ain't afraid of nothing.
Alright, after turning off the power due to Maxis request, you're going to want to focus your attention on the box. At least one player out of your party is going to need EMP grenades for this next step of killing the Avogadro. Now, we were introduced to the Avogadro last step. He is the electric zombie that rose out of that cylinder in the middle of the room shortly after turning on the power. Now, for this step, you're going to want to lure him underneath this obelisk, aka pylon, within the middle of the cornfield. Now, it's easiest to start each step here rather than start at the farm and try to lead him down the road. So make sure you do have really good weapons and the galvo knuckles at this point, because it can get a little overwhelming at times. Now, to get to that pylon, you're going to want to jump on the bus from the farm, which is the second stop on the bus route, and head towards the power plant. Shortly after takeoff, you will see this lava patch in the middle of the road. Keep going for a couple seconds until you see the lamp on the right that's going to be flickering, and a few cars on your left with a little patch of lava. Make sure that if there's any zombies still alive, they're not on the bus and kill you right here, because that would be pretty shitty. Right there you can see is the lava and the cars with the lamp on the right. Jump out now and head back towards the little patch of lava and the little couple of cars that were stacked up, and then take your first right on this path. Now right here you can see a denizen jumped on my head. Somehow I timed that perfectly and got it off with one melee, but right here is why the galvo knuckles are so valuable. You can see he jumps on my head, and it's going to take 5 melees to get him off. With the galvo knuckles, it will only take 3. So that is why I say get good weapons, get the galvo knuckles before getting to this step, because starting each round there's going to be zombies coming to you right here, and it's a small little area. So if you do have to take off, you're going to have those denizens jumping on you, and denizens plus zombies equal disaster. So make sure you got the galvo knuckles and good weapons before attempting this. You do not want to get this far into it and then fail here. So once you get the last zombie alive, you're going to want to run him around. And right here you can see I'm looking up into the sky, and it's just a cloudy, dark night. Have your teammate run that zombie around until you see your first patch of lightning. By killing the last zombie underneath this pylon with lightning above will actually make the Avogadro spawn. Instead of just killing him and not having the Avogadro, wait for the lightning and kill him, and it will trigger the Avogadro to spawn. So I'm looking up, just waiting to see lightning, and then I'm going to tell my teammate to kill him. There is the lightning. I told my teammate to kill him. You can see there he did, and the round ended. Now the Avogadro will spawn. So once this Avogadro spawns, if all 4 of you are underneath this pylon, he should spawn relatively close. As soon as he starts getting closer, have 2 of your teammates throw these turbines down underneath this pylon. One of you guys are going to need the EMP grenade for this step. Once he gets underneath this pylon, as you can see here now, throw your EMP grenade at the Avogadro. That will kill him. You can see I just got the achievement there for not taking damage and killing him. You see he like zipped up into the sky at the top of the pylon. This step is now done. Have the 2 players pick up the 2 turbines they put down. The 2 turbines are now powered. Now, for the very last step of the Maxis Easter egg is placing the turbines. you're going to want to have 2 players stay underneath the pylon with their turbines, and 1 person head here to the diner. The lamp that you see right here in front of me near the shed is where we're going to actually have to put that turbine. And then there's also one in the town. We're going to take a quick look at where these 2 lamps are located, as well as the pylon, just so you guys know for sure. But from the diner, you just look to the left right here near the shed. You can see the lamp near the semi. 1 player needs to be there to put their turbine down. Now here is in the town. From the Juggernaut building, you're going to want to head towards the wooden bridge, and you'll see the lamp here on the left side of the road right before the lava. 1 player is going to need to be at this lamp. Then the other 2 players with their turbines, just have them stay at the pylon. That's where they need to be to finish this last step. So once 2 players are under the pylon and 1 at each lamp, you're just going to have to, work with each other and coordinate like 3, 2, 1, and then put them down. On the count of 3, you want to have all 4 players put down their turbines at their respected places. You're going to see here, we're counting down to 3. I'm going to get my turbine out and put it right here at the base of this lamp. The other teammates need to put theirs down exactly the same time. So just coordinate it the best you can, and you will get the Easter egg done. You will get the Tower of Babble achievement worth 75 G's if you've not got it. And you can see there, we did it correctly. The Easter egg, the Maxis side Easter egg, is now complete. You now have the achievement. In transit, obey the voices. And the Easter egg, the Maxis side, is now complete, guys. So I hope this tutorial helped you. It's not really that hard to get. But it is kind of a pain in the balls waiting for the EMP grenades. If you're lucky enough to get the EMP grenades early, you should be fine. Just make sure that you get the good weapons and get the Galvan Knuckles before attempting this, because you do not have Jug on this side, and it can be a pain in the ass. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please show me some love. And yeah, I'm out here. Peace.